The purpose of these lessons is to show you the logic behind the most basic Chinese characters, beginning with the simplest pictograms and later combining these elements to create more complex characters. Today's lesson includes 9 characters, 6 of which refer to strength, as represented by a primitive plow or a hoe. Our first character is the auricle bone pictogram of a simple plow or hoe with 3 prongs used to till the soil. Pronounced 4th tone, li, li, meaning power or strength, and the extended notion of vigor or ability. Water power is shui li, and anything electric powered would include the characters dian li. When referring to muscle strength, the same character can be used. For instance, in this sentence, 我的手没有力. I have no strength in my hands. I can't grip things firmly. The more abstract concepts of ability and effort also make use of this character. 我二哥失去了语言能力. My older brother has lost the ability to speak, probably due to a stroke or an accident. To do something with all one's strength, sparing no effort, is the phrase 全力. The second character in today's lesson is an ideogram of a mouth and a plow, depicting a farmer grunting loudly while tilling the field, literally shouting to increase his strength. This character is pronounced 1st tone, 加, and means to increase, to add to. The easiest expression is simply 加上, literally to add something on to something else. 加重 could mean anything from a boss adding to one's already heavy workload, a judge increasing an offender's prison time, to a person aggravating their pre-existing allergies by eating the wrong food. Anything that worsens present conditions would qualify as 加重. 加入 means to either add something to a mixture or to join and participate in a group. An example of the first is 加入开水. Add in boiled, not boiling, water. An example of the second is 加入成员国, to become a member state, to join an organization. Our third character pairs 加 with the wood radical 木 that we saw in lesson 4, to create a new character pronounced 4th tone, 架, 架. This phono-semantic combination clearly depicts wood that adds strength. In other words, any kind of prop, stand, shelf, rack, supporting framework, or scaffolding, originally referring to the construction of bridges. The simplest example is 书架, a bookshelf, and a shelf alone would be 架子, with the neutral tone 子. Given the high number of homonyms, for clarity's sake, this unstressed 子 tells your listener that 架子 is a noun. Since scaffolding surrounds a building and a framework supports it, we might expect 架子 also to refer to people and the appearance or façade they wish to project. That's definitely the meaning in the following 2 sentences. 他的架子好大. He has no small opinion of himself, very self-important. And its opposite. 他是一个没有架子的人. He's very unassuming, a very approachable type of guy. Because 架 refers to constructing a bridge from both sides at one time, 架 also implies the use of both hands at once. These next two examples are more physical and alarming for that reason. 他相信外星人架走他的. He believes space aliens kidnapped her, grabbed his wife, and carried her off. When it comes to fighting and brawling, both hands are necessary. So, 打架 means to come to blows, to get into a brawl, to fight physically. In American English, when we say, the neighbors are fighting again, the listener can't be sure whether the neighbors are punching and smacking each other or simply arguing and shouting. In Chinese, 打架 is definitely physical. To argue noisily, quarrel, or possibly just bother or disturb someone by being noisy, is an extra character in today's lesson, both of whose elements we've already seen before. A mouth radical plus the phonetic shao from lesson 20. This character is pronounced third tone, chao, chao, giving us the new phrase, 吵架. 他们吵架，吵了一个早上. They argued all morning. It can also mean simply to bother or annoy a person or an animal. 不要吵她. Don't bother her now. The meaning to disturb by being noisy is found in this example. 我在看书，你们不要吵. I'm reading, so you kids be quiet. The fifth character in today's lesson is a plot of land, ready for development. First, by hunting any useful animals there, and second, by planting and growing crops on it. As a verb, it can mean either to hunt or grow crops. As a noun, it's land under cultivation. This character is pronounced second tone, 田, 田. As with most Chinese characters, it's necessary to avoid ambiguity. So by pairing two similar characters, we get 田地, the combination meaning farmland or agricultural land. If you can picture yourself plodding through ankle-deep mud in a rice paddy, it's not too difficult to see how 田地 also refers to a difficult situation that you've gotten yourself into. If referring to the owner or landlord of farmland, he or she is called 田主. Actually, we need this pictogram even more for the following character, which is composed of farmland and a plow, logically referring to the main cultivators of the land, men and boys. This character is pronounced second tone, 男, 男. A boy or male student is a 男生, the same as a girl or female student is a 女生. 男人 means an adult male, as in the expression 一个伟大的男人, an extraordinary man. The seventh character in this lesson is a woman under a man's hand, a female slave. Pronounced second tone, 奴, 奴. A despicable yes-man, lackey or flunky is 奴才, literally slave material, which, when combined with the word for appearance, 像, creates the expression for that shameless ass-kissing brown-noser you happen to know. 你看,他的奴才像. Just look at that guy buttering up the boss. Apparently, slaving away at your job or your studies is perfectly acceptable. Just don't go sucking up to the boss. Because our next character combines the plow with the slave phonetic to create a new character for an admirable trait. Pronounced third tone, 奴, 奴. This is a phonosemantic compound. When paired with our original plow, 努力, the phrase expresses the idea of putting forth great effort, exerting oneself, studying diligently, working hard, as in this example from a kindly teacher. 你要加以努力. You have to try harder. Notice the new and useful phrase 加以, used to suggest the means by which a good result may be obtained. It literally means increase by using. So, by increasing and using diligence, 加以努力, you will get better results in my class. The next example uses the expression 因而, literally, because, as a result. 她是因个人努力而成名. She became famous entirely as a result of her personal effort. Now we come to our last character, the phonetic for which we learned in lessons 9 and 10. This new ideogram originally meant to carry heavily loaded baskets on one's back. And is pronounced fourth tone, 动, 动. Today its meaning has expanded to include nearly any sort of movement or action. 动 is a phonosemantic compound with 东 and 重 phonetic, plus a plow to emphasize that strength or energy is involved. For example, 电动 can refer to anything powered by electricity, and appears in another translation for playing video games. 打电动. 动土 means to break ground for a new building at a construction site. 动手, literally move a hand, refers either to getting down to work or to raising one's hand to strike someone during an argument. 动员 is to mobilize an army or the members of a group or institution, arouse them and galvanize them into action to do whatever is needed. And the direction things seem to be headed is 动向, for trend or tendency, or possibly an enemy's troop movements. 动人, just as in English, means to move someone emotionally. So, 动人的山水 is natural scenery that's overwhelmingly beautiful. Now, more towards the physical action side of the spectrum, we have 不要动我的东西. Don't touch my stuff. And if someone needs to get up off their behind and stretch their legs, you could say 你坐了一天了，出去走动一下. 主动, literally, move like the one who's in control, means take the initiative, act promptly and willingly. Which lets us compose this example. 他主动开门，扶我走出去. Without hesitation, she opened the door and helped me outside. And finally, an expression using 干戈 from lesson 22. 大动干戈, meaning literally to go to war, or more commonly, to make a big fuss, go to a lot of trouble over something. 两家的人又在大动干戈. The two families are feuding again. Here is our color chart with today's 9 characters. 力, 家, 难, 弩, 架, 田, 炒, 奴, and 动. So, what's the takeaway from today's lesson? 1. A simple 3-pronged plow or hoe, 力, is used to represent power or strength, ability or effort. 2. A mouth paired with a plow, 家, indicates grunting and shouting to increase one's strength behind the plow. It now means to increase, add, or join a group. 3. With jia as phonetic and wood as the radical, the character for supporting framework or scaffolding was created, pronounced jia. Originally referring to the framework of a bridge under construction, jiazi is often borrowed to describe the outward appearance an individual person gives to others, either one of arrogance or one of modesty and humility. 4. 打架 refers to physical fighting, while 吵架 is limited to verbal sparring. The character 吵 alone can describe bothersome, annoying behavior, or disturbing someone by being too noisy. To tell someone to be quiet would be 不要吵了. 5. The characters for a plot of farmland is 田地, which can also refer to a messy, difficult situation you find yourself in. 6. In ancient China, tilling the soil and working in the fields was reserved for men and boys. So the character for man or male is nan, a field paired with a plow. A man is 男人 just as a woman is 女人. 7. Domestic slaves in ancient China were often girls captured from other tribes. Depicted in the character for slave, 奴, a hand grasping a kneeling submissive woman. 奴才, literally slave material, is the modern term for a despicable yes man. 8. Slavery is bad, but adding slave to the plow radical gives it a positive slant and denotes hard work, diligence, exerting great effort, especially in the phrase 努力. 9. 重, meaning heavy, is the phonetic for the character 动, describing any kind of movement or action. This character is used in many different idioms, from the physical, such as 动土, breaking ground for construction, to the emotional, such as 动人的, moving, poignant, touching. 10. We finally have an idiom with 干戈 from lesson 22. 大动干戈, meaning literally to take up arms and go to war, or more commonly, to make a big fuss or make a big to-do over something. Now you will find a short quiz on double, triple character, and longer expressions. Answer using only the characters learned so far. Thank you for watching and listening.